Kristen Wiig, the multifaceted talent who has graced screens both big and small with her impeccable comedic timing and heartfelt performances, recently took a nostalgic dive into one of the defining moments of her career. During a candid conversation on Amy Poehler's insightful podcast, Good Hang, Wiig opened up about the roller coaster journey behind her 2011 breakout film Bridesmaids. What began as a labor of love scripted by Wiig and her writing partner Annie Mumolo evolved into a cultural juggernaut that reshaped perceptions of female-led comedies in Hollywood. Yet, in the immediate aftermath of its release, the film's future hung by a thread, with studio executives delivering a lukewarm response that left the cast and crew questioning if their bold vision had truly connected with audiences. Wiig's recollection of that pivotal opening weekend paints a vivid picture of uncertainty in the high-stakes world of filmmaking. She described how, after the initial box office numbers rolled in, the prevailing sentiment from the studio was a resigned, "Well, we tried." It was a phrase that encapsulated the fragility of creative endeavors in an industry often driven by cold metrics rather than artistic merit. For Wiig, who had poured her soul into crafting a story that blended raucous humor with raw emotional depth, this feedback felt like a quiet defeat. "We just thought like that was it," she shared, her voice carrying the weight of those early doubts. The team had bet everything on Bridesmaids, a script that Wiig and Mumolo had developed over 5 painstaking years, drawing from personal anecdotes of friendship, heartbreak, and the absurdities of modern womanhood. They envisioned a comedy that didn't just punch lines but probed the complexities of female relationships, a rarity in a genre dominated by male perspectives. But as Wiig went on to explain, the magic of Bridesmaids unfolded gradually, like a slow-burning fire that eventually engulfs everything in its path. "And then I think just more and more people kept seeing it, and then it kind of happened later," she mused, highlighting the organic word-of-mouth buzz that propelled the film from modest beginnings to monumental success. This delayed gratification is a testament to the power of authentic storytelling. In an era where blockbusters are engineered for instant gratification, Bridesmaids thrived on its relatability. Audiences, particularly women who had long been underserved by Hollywood's comedic offerings, found mirrors in characters like Annie, Wiig's portrayal of a down-on-her-luck bridesmaid navigating life's curveballs, and her ensemble of quirky, flawed friends. The film's humor wasn't derived from cheap gags but from the messy, joyous chaos of real-life bonds. Think food poisoning scenes that are equal parts hilarious and humiliating, or heartfelt confessions amid crumbling facades. Echoing Wiig's sentiments, the film's director, Paul Feig, had previously shared his own brushes with anxiety during the production. In a reflection from the year prior, Feig admitted to feeling immense pressure to salvage what many predicted would be a flop. As a filmmaker known for his knack for ensemble dynamics, later seen in hits like The Heat and Spy, Feig saw Bridesmaids as a high-wire act. The studio's skepticism stemmed from the uncharted territory of a female-driven R-rated comedy. Precedents were few and the risks seemed insurmountable. Feig recalled sleepless nights strategizing ways to tweak marketing or even reshoot scenes to broaden appeal, all while fiercely believing in the project's core. His faith paid off as Bridesmaids not only recouped its budget but soared past expectations, grossing over $300 million worldwide, a figure that includes domestic earnings of nearly $169 million alone. This financial windfall was more than numbers on a ledger. It was a seismic shift, proving that stories centered on women's lives could dominate the box office without compromising on edge or authenticity. The accolades that followed further cemented Bridesmaids' legacy. 2 Academy Award nominations, one for Best Original Screenplay for Wiig and Mumolo, and another for Melissa McCarthy's explosive turn as Megan, signaled Hollywood's dawning recognition of the film's craftsmanship. These nods weren't mere formalities. They challenged the Oscars' historical bias toward dramas over comedies, especially those led by women. Wiig, ever the gracious artist, has often credited the ensemble cast, featuring standouts like Maya Rudolph, Rose Byrne, Ellie Kemper, and Wendy McClendon-Covey, for elevating the material. Their chemistry was palpable, forged in improvisational workshops that allowed each performer to infuse their role with personal quirks. Rudolph's Lillian, the bride-to-be whose unraveling wedding plans drive the plot, became an icon of poised panic, while McCarthy's unhinged energy introduced a new archetype of the brash, unapologetic sidekick. Amy Poehler, Wiig's podcast host and fellow comedy trailblazer, couldn't contain her admiration during their discussion. "It still remains a lot of people's favorite comedy and it's still a spec for what it looks like to have a bunch of women in a film together writing their own material," Poehler enthused. Her words underscore a profound truth. Bridesmaids wasn't just a movie, it was a manifesto. In the podcast's intimate setting, where guests often unpacked the vulnerabilities behind their public personas. Poehler and Wiig delved into how the film disrupted the status quo. Prior to Bridesmaids, female-led comedies were often relegated to rom-com fluff or broad satires lacking depth. This film flipped the script, blending slapstick with poignant explorations of envy, loss, and redemption. It inspired a wave of imitators and innovators alike, from Tina Fey's sisters to the Pitch Perfect franchise, each nodding to the blueprint Wiig helped lay. The cultural ripple effects of Bridesmaids extend far beyond its theatrical run. It has become a touchstone for millennial and Gen Z audiences, with memes of the airplane dress fiasco or Annie's disastrous toast circulating endlessly on social media. Streaming platforms have kept it alive, introducing new generations to its charms during late-night binges. Wiig herself has reflected on how the film's success altered her trajectory, opening doors to dramatic roles in films like The Martian and TV ventures such as Palm Royale, where she showcases her dramatic range. Yet, she remains humble about its origins, often joking about the happy accident of its rise. In interviews, Wiig has emphasized the collaborative spirit that defined the project: late-night script revisions in coffee shops, on-set ad-libs that birthed iconic moments, and a director who trusted his actors to steer the ship. Looking back, Wiig's podcast appearance serves as a reminder of resilience in the arts. The "well, we tried" dismissal could have derailed lesser talents, but for Wiig, it fueled a quiet determination. She and Mumulo's script, born from their days as Saturday Night Live writers, captured the zeitgeist of early 2010s womanhood, the pressure to have it all while grappling with personal implosions. Themes of friendship as a lifeline amid romantic and professional failures resonated deeply, turning viewers into evangelists. Box office analysts later attributed its longevity to this emotional core, wrapped in layers of laugh-out-loud absurdity. Feig's direction masterfully balanced tones, ensuring the comedy never veered into mean-spirited territory.